Here's another one of the questions that gets asked all the time. Why in the world do bad things happen to good people? We're always wanting to know that. And the funny thing about it is that as Christians, those of us who are Christians, we've always got a bad answer. There's no one that's good. Everyone has sinned and fallen short. And so that's usually our answer. But I think there's a more simple and less judgmental answer than that. It may not be an answer that we're thrilled about, but seems to be pretty clear. The disruption, here's what we assume, that good people mean that we're going to get good outcomes. Bad people get bad outcomes. But the Bible doesn't teach that. It would be really cool if it was just that easy, that you're a good person, good stuff happens. Bad person, bad stuff happens. But we've all known bad people who get incredibly successful and seem to have very good lives. And I'm not going to give us the out of, but they don't know what true life is. And they're not really able to understand all of the good things that we're really receiving. We're not going to do any of those cop-outs on that. And it's pretty easy to do and pretty easy to feel like, oh, let's give a little bit of a pat answer here. But it's not really that way. Here's the truth. The rain falls on everybody. He calls the sun to rise on the evil and the good. He sends rain on the righteous and the unrighteous. That there's no favoritism here. I don't get to go, you know what? I don't need any rain today. Therefore, it's not happening. Or let's say that I'm a really righteous farmer and I need rain for my crops. Just because I'm a good person doesn't mean the rain's automatically coming my way in the exact increment that I need. It's just the rain falls on everybody. It falls on the good. It falls on the bad. Same world, same conditions. All share a common destiny, the righteous and the wicked. That's from Ecclesiastes 9:2. So life is not sorted by moral categories. Now, we could say this, that if I'm living a good life, there could be cause and effect, more good things that happen to me. But just because I'm living a good life does not mean that I'm now not going to have any troubles that happen. I'm not going to have people that come after me. I'm not going to be betrayed or stabbed in the back. No, we're living in a world that we've got the same conditions for everybody. It's not merit outcome based conditions either. The race is not to the swift, but time and chance happen to them all. Ecclesiastes 9:11. So effort does not guarantee a result, and goodness does not guarantee protection. We've all had things. I mentioned in the very first video, my wife passed away in my arms at 23. Our son was 5 weeks old at the time. Just because, and at that time, I was in ministry. I'm not in ministry now, but I was in ministry at that time. You would have thought that maybe I get a pass, that the Lord would be going, guess what? Guess what? You're getting a pass. That bad stuff ain't going to happen to you because you're working in the ministry with me. Nope, it didn't happen. I still did not get those outcomes that I really wanted. So, you know what? Chance happens to us all. Tragedy isn't targeted. And in Luke 13, it talks about this tower. And it says, do you think they were worse sinners? I tell you in Because in that day, there was a belief that if something bad happened to you, hey, something you did caused that. In John chapter 9, there's the story of the man born blind, and his own disciples asked, who sinned that this happened? Who sinned that this man was born blind? See, they wanted to be able to point in a direction to figure this out and to point blame. And Jesus said, nobody sinned. There's nobody to blame for this. So in that particular time, there was the thought that if something bad happened in your life, guess what? It was your fault. If you read the book of Job, guess what the message is? Just confess your sins. Admit that you were wrong. It's your fault that these things happen. So kind of an interesting plug there. So even the righteous struggle. The righteous person may have trouble. Psalm 34:19. Being good does not exempt you from reality. One of the things that I tend to remind myself of is that we're biological. One of the reasons I'm at the weight I'm at right now, big screen it, one of the reasons I'm at this weight right now, this round face, is because I ate a bunch of stuff. It's not accidental, right? And so that might be a light example, but being good does not exempt me from reality. Even if I eat healthy, if I eat too much, guess what's going to happen? I could eat good food and have a bad result. But just because you are living a good life, or a righteous life, does not mean you're automatically going to be exempt from biology, from cause and effect, from other people making decisions that impact you negatively. Doesn't mean we get that automatic pass. So a clean conclusion, the Bible's view, life is not distributed by moral scorekeeping. Outcomes are shared, and a lot of times they're very unpredictable. Suffering is not proof of failure. Suffering doesn't mean you messed up. Just because you're good and something bad happens doesn't mean that you're at fault. Blessing isn't proof of righteousness. There are plenty of people who are blessed. Another one of the passages, I can't remember where this is right now, but it says that it is the Lord that has given you the ability to create wealth. Who's that to? Technically Israel, but I think it's to everybody. So just because you're blessed or somebody else is blessed by following a principle does not mean that things get shook up. There can be somebody who gets blessed financially because they've been given the ability to create wealth, and their life could be the worst on the planet, but they're still able to create wealth. So why do bad things happen to good people? Because it rains on the just and the unjust. Hey, I might be wrong. Put some in the comments. Question me. Bring up some other ideas, some other concepts. Or if you've got a question, ask that. Put that down in the comments as well, because over time we'll just be answering more and more questions. This channel's just getting started, getting the legs under me. And if you don't mind, subscribe. Subscribe to the channel, hit the notifications, because that way when the next episode comes out, you'll be notified. But as well, it'll remind you that you might have a Bible question that you want to submit. Until next time, as always, be blessed.